The diary of a First World War veteran will be returned to New Zealand after 40 years of campaigning by his family. Hartley Palmer is one of around 15 New Zealand vets whose diaries are held at Leeds University. Some families say the diaries were only lent to him and they've been asking for them back ever since. Tom Furley has more.
It was worse than thunder. As we neared the shore, we could hear rifles and machine guns pouring out bullets. We had to get ready to go ashore. Signal came that the Australians who landed first captured 4 guns and prisoners in a bayonet charge. Several boatloads of both sides have been brought to the hospital ship. We landed on shore about 7 p.m, found that hundreds of wounded and dead were lying about. Rifle fire and cannon was terrific. Several shells landed near the boat as we were landing. We took up position and dug trenches all night.
Those are the written words of Hartley Palmer, who landed in Anzac Cove on April 25th, 1915. During his time in the trenches at Gallipoli, he kept a daily diary. His written record remained with him until the 70s, when he came into contact with English historian Peter Little, who asked to read them.
Well, he just thought he handed them over thinking that, they're just going to take him away and bring them back shortly. So they took them away to England to read instead.
That's his daughter Margaret Kearns, who says despite the family writing and asking for it to be returned, nothing happened. Mr Palmer went to the media in 1984 and brought it to the attention of the government, but Mr Little indicated it wouldn't be returned. Mr Palmer died 3 years later, and the question of his missing diary's whereabouts remained until 2016, when a Nelson genealogy group found it in the Little collection at Leeds University.
When we found out where it was, we asked if we could have it back, and because they said no. Could we have a copy? Said no. Could you copy it? We might. They dragged it out for about a year, and we finally got a digitised copy sent to us. And then after I got it put online at the Cenotaph, people queried it. Why haven't we got it back?
Ms Kearns then asked the Ministry of Culture and Heritage to get involved and help return the physical diary to New Zealand.
They were his, and they should be back in New Zealand. Well, it's not just our history, it's New Zealand's history. It's our heritage. If you haven't got a past history, you haven't got a future.
The university has now agreed to return the diary to New Zealand, as well as 2 others belonging to Cyril James Claridge and Clifford James Walsh. The chief historian at Manatu Taonga Ministry for Culture and Heritage, Neil Atkinson, says they'll be kept in the Alexander Turnbull Library for safekeeping.
There's different purposes for this material. Certainly, from a research point of view, digitisation and making that content available online is really valuable. But absolutely for the families, there would be nothing like the actual original being back in New Zealand and obviously being cared for the future.
For Margaret Kearns, a piece of history is coming home.
It means that it's coming back to where it should be, in New Zealand. It's ours.
The diaries are expected to arrive in New Zealand later this year. In the meantime, photos and transcriptions of the diary are available for the public to read online at the Auckland War Memorial Museum website. For Checkpoint, Tom Furley.